I want to talk about seasons of crying. Seasons of crying. I was raised not to cry. So I have to climb over top of everything I was taught to cry because I was denied permission to cry. So crying hurts. And when crying hurts, my soul has no way to irrigate itself from the stress it has incurred. Grief doesn't leave if tears don't flow. I need to be able to release. I need to be able to cry. Hear me, brothers. I need to be able to cry. Not crying doesn't make you stronger, it makes you sick. I don't walk around crying all the time, but when I need to cry, I need to let out. There are seasons in your life where you are mourning, and don't nobody have to be dead. You can be mourning the job you lost, the house you didn't get, the age you're at, the stage you're at. You can be mourning the lack of companionship. There are a lot of things you can mourn about that create a season of crying. Whether you see him do it or not, he cries. He may wait till you sleep, but he cries. And thank God he does. Because if he doesn't, he's going to die or commit suicide or drive his car into a river. Tears are a gift from God to ventilate the soul when you have ingested too much pain. Tears are a sign to God, I need you. There is a cry. The kids can be playing in the backyard and they making noise and hollering and you don't pay them no attention. But there is a cry that will make you drop a plate on the floor and run out there with soap suds on your hands, because there is a cry that gets your attention as a parent. As it is with you, so it is with God. There is a cry that will get God's attention, that will arrest him and stop him in his tracks. If you don't believe it, ask blind Bartimaeus, who sat by the highway said begging. But when he heard Jesus was passing by, the Bible said that blind Bartimaeus began to cry. And he cried till he got on people's nerves. And he cried till they told him to shut up. But the more they told him to shut up, the louder he cried. And the Bible said, can I preach a minute? The Bible said that blind Bartimaeus cried till Jesus stood still. There is a cry that will arrest the Lord. There is a cry that will get God's attention. I heard David say, this poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and delivered him out of all his troubles. If you would open your mouth and cry, God would deliver you. The children of Israel were down in Egypt, and Bible says, Moses, go down and let my people go, for I have heard the cry of my people. What's wrong with you is that you keep your mouth closed. If you open your mouth and cry, God will come and rescue you. No wonder the winds couldn't stop him. No wonder the waves couldn't stop him. Jesus had to make it to the other side because he heard one of his children crying. Somebody open up your mouth and just holler. Somebody has left you for dead, but I dare you to open your mouth and holler, I'm still here. I'm still alive. They threw Jonah in the belly of a fish, and Jonah said, out of the belly of the fish cried I, and the Lord heard me. If you make your bed in hell and cry out, God can hear you. Elkanah came to church to worship, but Hannah came to church to cry. And the Bible said she staggered up to the altar like a drunk woman and cried out bitterly before God. Sister, stop fussing and start crying. Stop nagging and start crying. If you start crying, God will deliver you. I feel like getting my preach on. Jesus cried. He came to Mary and Martha's house, and the Bible said Jesus wept. And if Jesus can cry, every man in here, open your mouth and holler. In the book of Revelations, it said that I heard the cry of souls crying out up under the altar, saying, Lord, how long? Somebody say, how long? You've been in a condition for a long time. You got a right to cry and tell God enough is enough. Because if you cry out, God will deliver you. If you cry out, God will set you free. I'm sick of this. I've had enough of this. I don't want no more.